Joining us in the kitchen today is Oguchi Onyewu.
He's a former defender on the USA national team. He was in the first ESPN Get Naked issue, and he's hosting the inaugural GO Global Kickoff on Saturday, June 29th in Maryland. Let's talk to Oguchi.
When did you struggle with soccer? When did you struggle with your decision, your career choice? What was the low point on this career path?
Low point. I think probably my most difficult decision came in 2002 when I signed professionally. For me, when I was 19, I moved over to France without any family. My brother came over for maybe a month, the first month, but aside from that, I didn't have any families. I didn't know anybody there. I didn't speak the language. And so it was a whole new environment, a whole new monster for me. And, it's definitely a great experience to have and to experience other cultures and, gain other experiences aside from being in America.
But even though you didn't speak the language, did you make the attempt to try to talk to and charm women without speaking the language that they spoke?
Yeah, the French women speak football. That's what, look at him, of course. Look at him.
I've always told somebody, you'll learn a language a lot quicker when you have to speak to the opposite sex. And that was true for me when I was learning French. I would pay a lot more attention to a woman than I would perhaps to my teammate or to another man. So, you're definitely correct in that aspect.
Yeah, but how much talking did you really have to do?
You didn't have to
not a lot. It doesn't look like a lot.
Hey man, my mother's watching. Let's keep it down a little bit.
Well, you're worried about your mother seeing this. What did your mother think when you posed butt naked in ESPN the magazine? Were you thinking about it then?
You know what she's thinking? She's like, that's the baby I made. That's the baby I made.
Right. So mom was proud of that. Well, any discomforts in doing that shoot? Or you went in there proudly?
I went into the shoot. It was the first edition of the Body issue, and they were trying to explain to me what they were trying to do, and I was like, okay, they said they're gonna exhibit, the human body. So I was like, okay. So we started off with, shorts and a tight t-shirt. And I was like, okay, this is cool. They're like, okay, can you lose a t-shirt? I was like, okay, no problem. And then they're like, okay, can you change these shorts to make them shorter? So I put shorter shorts on. So I was like, okay. And they're like, can you take off the shorts altogether? And I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? He's like, no, trust me, it's going to be very classy and tasteful. And he made the picture beautiful, and it came out great.
Now, you had a very publicized fight with Zlatan Ibrahimovic in 2010 where he said in his autobiography that you guys were basically trying to destroy and kill each other. What was going on with that?
Oh, man, you brought that up. That as well is squashed. If you read his autobiography or biography, I haven't read it. I've heard people tell me what's in it. Some of it's true. Some of it's definitely not true. But the whole gist, to make a long story short, we had an argument, and it got physical, and we had to be separated with our team.
Now that's making a long story short. What if you made a short story long?
Yeah, make it longer. Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't want to start any controversy that's ended, years. It's been over for years. I don't want to start anything up. You put any salt on any wounds right now. But it happened. He said some things he shouldn't have said. I said some things I shouldn't have said. And in the end, maybe I shouldn't have approached him the way I did. And at the end of the day, we both apologized to each other, and we said, this is stupid. And, it was over. He said he was wrong. I said I was wrong. I shouldn't have hit him, vice versa, and that's that.
Gooch, you got us on the precipice of a great fighting story, and we love great fighting stories. You're just going to bring us there and then just back off?
The problem with it is I'm a lover, not a fighter. And
but you fought.
Every man has his limits, and unfortunately I reached mine at that day, and but it was quick and over.
We talked about your loving too, and you didn't want to talk about that either because your mom was watching. So you're going to give it up or what? Are you fighting?
You guys are putting me in a tight spot right now.
You got butt naked in a magazine, and you telling me that I'm putting you in a tight spot right now?
You got a point. Yeah,
I got a point.
How often have you fought with teammates? How often has something like that happened?
That was the first time. The first time in my career that it's ever occurred.
My father has a question for you, Oguchi. Go ahead, Papi.
Okay.
Oguchi, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Encantado de conocerte.
Encantado contigo.
Here comes the question. What is the most embarrassing thing that you have seen a teammate doing in the locker room?
The most embarrassing thing I've seen a teammate do in the locker room? Oh, man. I've seen a teammate dance butt naked with his junk jumping all over the place. That's probably the most embarrassing thing I've seen for him, because he wasn't. Let's just say he wasn't the one that should have been doing that.
I don't know what that means.
Nobody should be doing it, but we understand what you mean.
understand.
Thank you for being on with us. We enjoyed everything except that last story. Thank you for being on with us.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias a ti.